How you doing, everyone? Scott here, back with an update of a few vinyl records and some CDs that I picked up over the last few days. Like I said in my last video, I was mainly focusing on CDs because of my whole iPod situation, but this time it's going to be much more vinyl. Still have some CDs to show, still have some CDs to show, but yeah, mostly vinyl. Went to Edinburgh Record Fair. Well, record fair, it's more like a stall. Went there on Friday, got there first thing and picked up a few things that I was after. And on Saturday, I went out on a dig and hit a couple of local shops, so I'll show you what I picked up. But first of all, I do have some CDs to show, and let's get into them. So I've got to show this first one. I was on eBay, and I'm always looking for nuclear assault. So every week I always just put in the same kind of searches. It's like the lottery, really. If you don't put it on, that's the time you're going to win. So every week I always kind of put in the same searches to see what's come up on eBay, Amazon, all that sort of stuff. So I was on eBay and I put in nuclear assault, game over, and one came up. Really great price, so it was best offer, so I did take a little pinch off the top of the price, and luckily for me the seller accepted. But it was only until about, well, I think it was a couple hours later, I got a message from Mike, Metal Mickey, to say, just to let you know, your CD is on the way. And I was like, you're fucking joking. And he said, no, you've bought nuclear assault off me. I was like, what is the chances of that happening? So I didn't obviously recognise Mike's username on eBay, and I just went and gave him an offer for the CD, and Mike accepted. It wasn't until the details came through of the buyer, obviously because he had to send it to me, that my name popped up and my address popped up. So yeah, finally got nuclear assault, game over. So thanks, Mike. And Mike, to be fair to him, felt really bad. He was just going to try and refund me my money, but I thought, don't be stupid. I was after it anyway, and to be fair, Mike wasn't exactly ripping me off. It was a really great price. It was under a fiver, so I was not bothered about buying it off Mike at all. And if I knew that he was selling it in his, what I did explain to him is, I got halfway through his last video where he was talking about trades and what he was selling, and this actually came up in the video, but I didn't get all the way through the video. I only got halfway through until I had to go out, so I didn't see this being up for sale or up for trade. So he basically said it serves you right for not watching my whole video. So I completely agree, Mike. From now on, I am watching all your videos all the way through first time. So yeah, finally picked it up, and it also comes with the EP that followed after this, The Plague. So it was a great deal, and Mike, do not feel guilty. I am very happy to pay what I paid for it, and it came very well packed and in prompt time. In fact, I still need to leave you feedback. Now, what can I put in that to put people off buying from you? No, I'm only kidding. So thanks, Mike, for that. Next one is a CD you never see, and it's actually an album I missed out on vinyl in the last couple of days, and it's Love Hate's second album, Wasted in America. Been after this for a while, but just never ever really seen it, and what do you know, the CD and the vinyl pops up in the same week. But like I said, narrowly missed out on the vinyl, but the CD will do me for now. So there we go. Next one is an album I absolutely love, and I don't know why I've not picked it up sooner, but again, CDs are scarce, the vinyl's scarce, and it's Firehouse's debut, self-titled, from 1990. An amazing album. A very easy listen. All the songs just keep you gripped. It's a bit like how I explained Taiketo and Don't Come Easy. It's just one of those albums you just want to listen to all the way through, and it just kind of, it keeps your attention. So really glad to pick that up. And the last one is, it's actually an album I've got on vinyl, but I saw it for, I think it was under £2 delivered on eBay, so I thought I'd be as well picking it up, and now I have the first 3 Extreme albums on CD. So that is Extreme Porno Graffiti 2, or Extreme 2 Porno Graffiti. Great album, but I like especially the first 3 Extreme albums, so I think I'm done with Extreme on CD. So that is the CDs. Now moving on, I'll show you first of all the vinyl I picked up from the record fair. Now when I say record fair, it's called Edinburgh Record Fair, but it's this group of sellers that kind of get together every few months in different areas of Scotland and basically sell off vinyl. Now sometimes you get a good selection, sometimes you don't. I've been pretty lucky, but I have spoken to Cloudy Milder. He wasn't so lucky, but I picked up a few things I was after. So the first 5 are going to be from the record fair. Now the first one is Warlock and Burning the Witches. Now I've actually just picked this up on CD because I was having a really hard time finding the vinyl, and this pops up. I picked up the CD a week ago, and this was one of the first pickups I got from the record fair, so really happy with that. That's me completed my Warlock on vinyl. Nothing special inside. And I was browsing eBay the other day and this came up again for a great price, so it's like you wait for all that time and then they all pop up all over the shop. So that is the first one, Warlock and Burning the Witches, which is an amazing album. It's one of their best. Next one is probably the best pick of the bunch I got, to be honest. I showed this band's debut album. I think they've only got 2 albums out, or did only bring out 2 albums. I showed their debut a few months ago, and again that was just sitting there in the shop, and this was just sitting there at the record fair just waiting for me to swoop in on it. And it is from the band Sword, and it's their second release, Sweet Dreams. Now if you haven't checked out the band Sword, I suggest you do, because they're just write some amazing heavy metal. Their first album is called Metalized, which is an amazing album as well, so I really suggest, if you haven't heard Sword, check these guys out. So that is me completed my Sword on vinyl as well, so really happy to pick that up, and this was not expensive at all. I think it was under £10, so really happy with that. And again, nothing special at all about the inside. So yeah, that's Sword and Sweet Dreams, and that was released in 1988, so really happy with that one. The next one up is the cheapest find of the record fair, and it was £4, and it is the 3rd album from Lita Ford, and it's self-titled Lita, from 1988. A bit more commercial and a bit more accessible than our first 2 albums, but still, Lita Ford, amazing stuff. There was, what was the other one that was there that I left because I thought it was a bit too expensive? I think it was Out for Blood. So I did leave that behind, but it's one I can always pick up. So that is the inner sheet with the lyrics, and I mean, it's not in the greatest condition. The sleeve is a bit bashed up, but for £4 I wasn't really going to argue. So that is Lita from 1988. And the last one I picked up is a reissue from 2015 on Sanctuary Records, and it is Halloween's Master of the Rings. Now I've not actually opened this yet, still sealed, so I'm going to try and grab a wee corner of this and crack it open. So I mean, you don't get the biggest selection of metal records there. You don't really get the biggest selection of anything there, but I've been pretty lucky the last few times, so I thought I'd pop along, and again, just lucky again I suppose. So there we go, out of the cellophane. I think this was originally released in 1994, and this is the first album with Andy Derris on vocals. So there is the inner, really nice looking inner, and comes in a polyline sleeve, and there we have the custom centre ring, Master of the Rings. So yeah, just great power metal from the mid-90s. A lot of people kind of switched off on Halloween after the first 3 albums, but for me, you can't really go wrong with Master of the Rings. So really looking to pick up kind of late 90s and early 2000s stuff like The Dark Ride and albums like Seven Sinners, but I'm not totally sure if they're out on vinyl, but it's worth investigating anyway. So that is Halloween and Master of the Rings, and that one, in fact no, still got one to go. Last one, picked up for £7, not in the best condition, but it was missing from my collection, and it's the debut from Bon Jovi. As you can see there, £7, not too happy they've stuck it on the jacket, but never mind, it's not in the best condition anyway. And definitely one of my favourite Bon Jovi albums. Just got some absolutely great tracks, and not well known tracks either. I mean, the first song, Runaway, is one that everyone will know, but songs like Roulette, She Don't Know Me, which is one of my favourite songs of Bon Jovi, Shot Through the Heart, Love Lies, Breakout, Burning for Love, really great stuff, and that is from, I'm sure, 1984. And there you can see a picture of the band in the back, and inside it does come with the custom inner with lyrics. So really happy to pick that up. Shame it wasn't a bit better condition, but it'll do me for now. So that is Bon Jovi, debut from 1984. So that is my pickups from the record fair. Next, that was on the Friday. On the Saturday I went out and I thought I'm on a bit of a roll, so I'll go out for a dig and see what I can pick up, and I'm going to show you them now. So there's a shop I usually go to, which is like my local record shop. I did go there, but first of all I kind of went a bit further afield, not too far, but it's a shop that I don't go to all that often, but when I do go I always pick up some really nice stuff. So that's what I'm going to show you next. So the first one that caught my eye, or the first two that caught my eye, the first one was Death Angel's Frolic Through the Park. This is from 1988 again. Really just great thrash. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Death Angel, but to see this in the record shop and finding it out in a dig is awesome. It does come with I think it's got a bit of water damage, or I don't know if it's just been stored in a funny way, but it is a little creased at the bottom. But I mean, this was not expensive at all, so I absolutely jumped on it. Whoever had it before has put it in this bag here, and there we can see the centre ring, and it also came with the black sheet, which you can see does have a little bit of water damage to it as well, so somebody's obviously tried to wash the jacket in dishwasher or something like that. But still, for the price I paid, which was under £10, I'm really happy with that. I mean, the disc itself is in great condition, so until I pick up another one, this will definitely do me for now. So that is Death Angel and Frolic Through the Park. And the next one, I actually just picked up this CD. And I actually tried to buy this from a guy on Facebook. And he said the condition was okay and all this kind of stuff. And I said, well, how much do you want for it? And he said, £25. I was like, really? For that kind of condition? So I said, look, thanks, but I'm going to leave it for now. I mean, you can pick up the reissue for the same price, but I know it's not like having the OG copy, but I found the OG copy. And it is Death Angels Act 3. Jacket is a bit bust up. It's not too bad. It does have a bit of like creasing down here and creasing across the top. Corners are a bit rounded, but this was £13, so I was not going to pass that up. It does come with the custom inner and lyrics as well. So just one of those funny things, just picked up the CD and then come across the vinyl, which I've never ever seen in the wild before. So yeah, amazing pickup, Death Angel and Act 3. The next one is actually an album I gave as VCLT to Rob, Black Star Vinyl, because at the time I knew he'd be looking for it and I was seeing them everywhere. I mean, I couldn't go into a shop or go on eBay without finding a cheap copy of this. But when it came down to it, they just all basically disappeared. After I sent the package off to Rob, they were gone. So it's one of those. It wasn't frustrating. I mean, it's not an album that I need to put on every week. Do you know what I mean? But it's good to have in the collection, and that's why I wanted Rob to have it. But finally, I picked up another one, and this was, I think, £8, and it is Every Mother's Nightmare. So finally back in the collection. What I really should have done at the time was I got a cheap copy for Rob, but I thought to save a bit of time I would just pack it off and get it to him. But it's finally here again. Just in the standard sleeve, as you can see, it's on a wrister. But yeah, if you don't know this, check it out. It's kind of late, is this 90s? 1990, so that kind of late 80s, early 90s hard rock, which is not to be looked over. It's just really, really great stuff, so give it a shot. Every Mother's Nightmare, debut from 1990. Back in the collection. And the last one I picked up had me completely confused because I do have one part of this album kind of set, and this might give away the album. And both parts were in the shop, and I couldn't remember for the life of me which part I had. So I picked up part 1, took it home. I was sure that was one I was missing. I ended up with 2 part 1s. So I said to the guy, look, if it's wrong, can I come back? They're both exactly the same price, can I just swap them over? Yep, no worries, just come back. So that's what I had to do. I had to nip back down to the shop and swap them. But it was Halloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2. So it does turn out I had 2 part 1s. Finally have part 1 and 2 now. This is a gatefold, as is part 1. Although the difference with part 1 is I actually have it on blue vinyl. And as you can see, comes with tour dates, photos, and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's set it around there. Really cool. So very, very happy to pick that up. Halloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 2. So that was the shop that I don't go to that often, so that was a pretty good score from there. And I thought, why not just hit the shop I normally go to. It wasn't as successful as I normally am, and I've picked up an album that I already have. That's the first time I've ever done that. I've picked up an album, was adamant that I never had it, bought it, got it home, oh yeah, I've got it. So I'll just start with that one. and it is Great White's Once Bitten. I mean, it's a great album, that's why I picked it up, but got home and I was like, how did I forget? How do you forget you've got an album? And I've definitely not got as many records as some of you guys out there, so how you keep track? I should just carry a list on my phone and just browse through the list, but at the same time it didn't even cross my mind that I had this. I just didn't think I had it. For some reason, it just completely left my mind. So that could be up for trade, or if somebody wants to make me an offer, get down to my Facebook page. If you feel like it, you can do that. I'll leave a link to the Rock Scout Facebook page and you can get in touch there or whatever. But yeah, great album. If somebody needs it, it's here. So that's that one. And the two I didn't have, the first one is, this is an album I pick up every time I'm in the shop, and it always gets bumped for something that I want more. And because the selection wasn't amazing at the weekend, I just thought this is the time to just get it in the collection, because it is a great album, but it always just gets overshadowed by other things that I pick up. And it is from Easy O. It's their self-titled from 1987. And I think this is their first American release. It could be like their third or fourth album. I'm not entirely sure what album it is. But it's a great album. Along the lines of loudness, Japanese hard rock, heavy metal. As you can see, they're like the Japanese Kiss. But absolutely amazing. So if you've not ever listened to Easy O, give them a listen. Absolutely great. Really hard to pick up on CD. I don't even know if they released some of their stuff on CD, but if they did, it is non-existent. So you'd be lucky to pick it up on CD. But yeah, amazing album. So if you've not heard this, give it a listen. Really good. So that is Easy O, self-titled from 1987. And the last one, which I think is one of the finds of the weekend, really. This is the last one I found on my dig. And I don't have any of this band on vinyl. It's not a band I listen to that much, to be honest, but I saw this. I saw what year it came out, and I've heard the album. I've heard other people talking about the album, talking about the band. I mean, it's a big, big band. But I've just never really owned much of their stuff and not seen much of their stuff out in the wild. But when I saw this, I was all over it. And the thing that really got me at the start was the price tag had come off the sleeve. So I thought, right, okay, I could be looking at something pricey here. So I asked the guy, excuse me, do you know how much this is? The price has come off. And he went, oh, it's a tenner. I was like, yeah, that's going home with me. So it's from Overkill, and it is Horoscope from 1991. Some regard this as their best album. It's a great album, don't get me wrong. But Overkill isn't a band I am like super familiar with. I mean, I've heard their albums. I've maybe listened to half an album, then had to do something else and put it off. Or I've actually heard this album all the way through, and I do love the album. It's a great album. I do have one on CD, The Electric Age, which is a newer album, but I'm not overly familiar with their earlier stuff. But this is an album I was not passing up, because you would not find this every day out in a dig. And inside you do get the custom inner with the band photos and lyrics as well. So yeah, that was definitely one of the finds of the weekend. Really happy to pick that up. So that is Overkill Horoscope from 1991. So that is it. They're my pickups for this weekend. As usual, let me know what you think. Thanks to everyone for subscribing, viewing, commenting, all the really good stuff that you all do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.